I found a trading tool within the New York Library today. It cost about 30 grand a month, 30K a month, for a tool that seems like it's more than likely, or at least possibly there's a chance, outdated by now, outdated based on AI, outdated based on the nature of compounding, self-building knowledge in AI in terms of financial analysis, in terms of developing more concrete analysis, in terms of developing compound analysis among agents that are the equivalent to 10 people or 5 or 10 people working on a similar project at the current time, being able to analyze and attempt to enhance your focus in terms of analysis, in terms of free work related to what in the past would not have been as such. Oh, welcome to the news. Beyond this conceptual focus, what we also want to address is the ability to now start to try to talk to people like we're in therapy, like business therapy. We're trying to sort of add a bit of more layers to the podcast if possible, ultimately with a little bit of live video and such things, but also like talking to people and also like talking to them like it's business therapy, like accountability coaching, that's like it's business therapy, like a chat session, conceptually, potentially, and maybe even like other elements of other YouTube channels like Caleb Simpson does in-home interviews and such things regarding places and people's spaces and such things. We could also do that digitally, like if we were on Zoom, we could have them show us around their own place and such things, especially if we have higher quality content, higher quality cameras that are able to sustain better processes for being able to project certain imagery across the scope of the type of different landscapes for how we are trying to communicate different messaging, and also partnerships in terms of partnership content to where they are able to leverage their own types of content and be able to send it and connect it with us and connect with us. And that's the whole purpose and interest of Convergence, is trying to develop more so overlapping and overcrossings, so that we are able to complement and compound our own impact scales. We can try to continue to scale up impact in an exponential way by leveraging technology first, and then secondarily people and their technology and the ability to leverage technology among all the people that we're trying to connect with and have partnerships with and collaborations with, so that it's collaboratively continuous compounding impact energy. Whoa, compounding impact energy. And we're hoping to just try to push the acceleration on this task just a little bit more at a time, because at the current time it's very meager and vague, and such things have not been able to be much more accelerated than at the current rate of time and speed and such things in space. But at the same time, when you do literally nothing, sometimes that advancements in technology can be pushed forward to the extent that you also are moving along with that, and you're moving alongside of it. So you in essence make advancements in time just by existing, by being able to coincide and correspond with the nature of time and the element of consistent forward motion, to be able to then be able to move forward with the motion. And that, therefore, just by being able to be weary, allows people to advance just by other things advancing. And that's the nature of collaboration. It's when people win, all people win. And that's the nature of philanthropy energy as well, is that when there's globally scalable solvable problems or solutions to problems, that it in essence drives everybody forward. Everybody is able to benefit. Everybody's mindset is able to benefit and move forward and advance in a mental and physical and digital sense. And that's why we want all people to be connected to the philanthropy energy global giving grid, so that all people can advance in a most cumulative and most effective, efficient fashion possible, that's equitable across all regions and cities and spaces and places in the world, so people have the opportunity at least to pipe in to the conceptual abilities to be able to leverage the highest powers and such things that are available to them, without government control, without some specific governing body being able to just enhance and have the majority of the power and such things. But there's just like an overarching ability for everybody to watch out for each other, because we all just at least want to have the ability to live in this world for time that is possible with decent amounts of resources. And it seems like people, after all, are not necessitating too much in terms of materialism, too significant amounts of materialism, just to live, just to actually exist, just to specifically be above the ground on Earth. It entails not too many resources for every individual person to exist, just to have the ability to continue to exist. It's not that great of materials that are necessity. It's mostly about nutrition and what goes on the inside. It seems, because that also is a distraction from bringing toxicity into oneself and into an individual's life and into an individual's world and into an individual's attention. If that simple item in terms of food, healthy food was the primary focus, for all folks, all humans, that ultimately it could, hopefully in an ideal sense, just develop an ability to be able to not be distracted by things that are toxicity and toxins in terms of attention in of itself. Outside of that is man-made, spawned, societal-based, and built toxicity, toxin, attention, culture, in terms of things that just by existing and acknowledging them in terms of giving attention to them, it is toxicity in of itself. And so therefore abstaining from that causes the not toxicity. And so that's therefore the foundation, by abstaining from that, where we have the ability to change the foundation for the nature of games across the world, to be able to play healthy games for all people to benefit in the whole world from the energy of everyone else. And so we're trying to do business therapy to be able to develop business therapy mindsets in terms of, again, like leaving the negativity off the table, acknowledging the woes, acknowledging certain negativity and toxicity, and to be able to remove that, to be able to go forward. That's the purpose of business therapy. It's kind of a joke, it's a play on words, it's a satire, but the interest and the essence is to acknowledge and understand the nature of the difficulty in entrepreneurship, and also the difficulties that are faced in this realm based upon societies and certain constructs and structures within bodies and governments and cities, to be able to make things a little bit more difficult, more so than they need to be. And by removing this toxicity of unnecessary focus and attention in ways that are not necessary or unnecessary focuses in terms of attention, and detracting toxicity, it develops more so an asset direction, and taking 2 steps back and to be able to take 1 step forward type of a situation, to be able to continue to take healthy steps forward with positive games for change, removing the essence and the necessity for monetary focus and monetary energy focus, to be able to then move in the direction of just purely philanthropy energy, games for all people to benefit from in the whole world, because we're collectively playing for each other all the time, and not self-centered reasons or needs, as it is in the realm of monetary energy and the realm of current day business. And that's all changing and rapidly necessitating for a lot of jobs to go away and evaporate and get expunged with AI, because hopefully the nature of AI is being able to change the nature of focuses, so it doesn't go so slow in the past like it used to, and we can accelerate change for games. Like today, Dinky Tehc made a tech GPT. Today we made a tech GPT. Today Dinky Tehc, meaning the self, was talking to ChatGPT, and we made a Dinky Tehc GPT, which is a joke. It's a tech GPT, which has to do with developing more products for the store, continuing to develop more products for the store. We made a custom hydrofoil product today for the on top of the earth, a floating, in essence, like little hydrofoil, in essence, to be able to actually capacitate and necessitate and hold 2 people, which the design looked similar to the Catharsis. The Catharsis was a vehicle at cannar.weebly.com. That was a first developed vehicle that was developed by Dinky Tehc and Change for Game Studios, before it was even called Change for Game Studios. So now we're trying to take that same energy, and actually the design it's uncanny how similar it is to that, but that hydrofoil to be able to float across the earth and using air. It's not a hydrofoil, it's an airfoil. So I forget the name. There was a comparison of the description. It's a complicated name. It's a different existing plane that existed as a background reference that it used to research and resurface and repreface the engineering plans to be able to hopefully continue to make some engineering plans and hopefully actually being able to applicably applicate those engineering plans into the development of different products going forward is a pipeline that we hope that Tehc GPT, which is our little custom in quotes version of GPT, Chat GPT, which is for Dinky Tehc GPT, but it's also just a joke. It's Tehc, TECH and or TEHC, like Dinky Tehc has the H before the C. So it's either one of those, the Tehc GPT we did today, because that's hopefully hoping to be able to be something that can continue to help make engineered products, which would be so significant to be able to close the gap, finally try to start to close the engineering gap, to have basic, simple, synthesized, engineering prototypes, to be able to transition those prototypes, to be able to develop structures and items and develop processes ASAP, to have prototypes be able to be made in a engineered and structural CAD and 3D modeling way, to be able to transition them into development in an ASAP mode and in as soon as possible mojo mode, so that hopefully we can get products made and get them onto the market in an idealistic sense, and have partnerships and continue to develop partnership items and have circle CEOs, which means people who are in charge of certain circles and plates that we're trying to continue to keep spinning. And this hopefully can continue to spawn the energy for Dinky Tehc and Change for Game Studios to be able to make interesting products and continue to try to scale the energy in multilateral directions in any way possible, in any type of AI languages that are possible, in all paradigms possible, to be able to put back into the philanthropy energy grid by continuing to do different types of media and shows. And in the last part of today, we were in Bryant Park and noticed the satellite. There's a satellite building that also has to do with a real estate building, that has to do with a partnership affiliate, in essence, that has to do with closing hopefully some of the deals that have to do with the conceptual item that I've spoken about in the past, which is Beyonce, and Spurlow, which is Morgan Spurlock, and also Beast Philanthropy. All those things combined that have to do with having Beyonce, which is Beyonce on the front end, which has to do with roll-ups, different kinds of business music in different types of businesses that are for sale, that we're trying to package to develop more value out of those packages, and those are called roll-ups. And we're trying to take those roll-ups and on the back end of that develop roll-ups with real estate attached as a means to be able to develop sales within those roll-ups in the real estate world. So that particular building has to do with hopefully a partnership that is semi-pre-existing for selling the real estate attached to businesses and such things, if it works out, if there is that ability to connect conceptually, which has been given some approval in the past, to be able to make and greenlight the sale of businesses through this real estate avenue, which with businesses attached to real estate. So therefore it hopefully enlightens and illuminates the pathway to be able to sell roll-ups as well as packages and portfolios of real estate with at the same time businesses attached in the form of roll-ups. So it's kind of a backwards way of doing the sales, but hoping to be able to package it in that realm, similar to Sotheby's doing auctions with like paintings and different estate sales is in essence those types of sales with packaging goods, and having a partnering is in essence white label brokerage, like a Airbnb brokerage in essence. So we're able to also partner with other brokerages. It's like a co-brokering brokerage in of itself, like Airbnb brokers with people and their homes and their goods and such things. So we're brokering with brokers and the goods themselves, and also trying to manufacture goods for future reference as well. So creation is a big part of collaboration, and also new products, old products, sales of products, redirecting products to new owners and new pipelines of new ownership, and redirecting the energy flow from business of yesterday into the new world of philanthropy energy into tomorrow. So today, the building up in Bryant Park is a symbol. It had rainbow colors up on the top and light pointing down into the bottom, similar to the Dinky Tehc logo, and that also happens to be the pre-existing, somewhat partnership that has to do with the real estate realm and avenue of exiting the elements of business sales through real estate means with that partner in particular that has a similar logo setup. And also there's a business bank similar, and it's across in a similar courtyard, and it's connected in a similar courtyard, and the lighting and the colors also with that bank is a logo that has to do with the inverse. It's a logo for a specific bank. I'm trying to think if I should say the bank or not. The logo has an influx, a symbol of an influx in the logo. The symbol of an influx in the logo with that particular logo, it shows a point in the center of the logo. It's like the energy starts on one side and it has an influx and a point where the energy changes and shifts, and that is a symbol of the entrepreneur journey, of taking on the role of a character within an entrepreneur journey, where that influx time and space happens, where the character takes on the role and the feelings and the actual emotions and the feelings and the purpose for driving the purpose of the purpose-driven vehicle, of making a human into that vehicle and changing that human into that vehicle, in essence, by that symbol, that symbology. It's HSBC. We'll just say it now because it makes it a heck of a lot easier to describe it with that logo in mind, because that logo was preconceived before that bank was consulted in the past, and it's a coincidence that in the past place that we were at, where the fountains were, the fountains of philanthropy energy that were symbolized by that location, it also has to do with it's similar with similar bank locations, and it's just uncanny how these two items and symbols are aligned in terms of the ice rink in the sky that is made to build philanthropy energy and push philanthropy energy into the ice rink that's in the sky. That's an indicative metaphor for Change for Game Studios. That's an indicative metaphor for Change for Game Studios. And then this metaphor is a metaphor in Bryant Park for the satellite and the energy and the power and the primary radiation from the building that is within basically Times Square near that area, right in the mix of it all, to be the Dinky Tehc logo in the form of a building, in this whole process for developing a continuous, ongoing, forward-moving motion, business process, development process of connecting the dots, continuous convergence, continuous business prototyping and making forward motions, trying to attempt to solve problems, and that's the nature of Change for Game Studios. We're collectively trying to activate every human being in the world into the entrepreneurship mindset, to be able to leverage entrepreneurship mindset and solving problems, so that everybody is activated to be able to have the most powers possible, to be able to leverage the most vehicle powers possible inside themselves, like transformer vehicles, so they all become transformer vehicles, similar to the movie Transformers, except nothing like that movie, because we're all trying to play games for change, and it's actually very similar to the Pokemon Go game, and people were actually playing the Pokemon Go game in the same space today, necessarily, and congregating for that. So it's about, in essence, being able to play games all around the world, similar to that game, with each other all around the world. That's why I mentioned Niantic, who are the developers of that Pokemon Go game at the Games for Change Festival the last few years in a row as well. They have been there, they've been present, they've done talks, and this is a significant way to be able to conceptualize harnessing human energy within games, continuing to harness human energy within games, and continue to make games for change and change for games studios, and also being able to acknowledge and appreciate people that exist around the world based on energy, connections with transpositions of energy, and likenesses of energy around the world. People have similar archetypes of other people that they are aligned with around the world. Archetype structures of energy around the world, and being able to connect with those energies around the world and connect with them like electricity, connect with their archetypes around the world as possible through similar games for change, change for games, similar to Pokemon Go. So people are able to go outside, and play games for change, play games for games, play change for games, play change for games, play change for games, play games for change, change for games. All of the above, to be able to go outside and play and make changes by going out and following certain things like tennis balls, like Dinky Tehc the dog would chase tennis balls in the past, and this is the robot version. We're trying to change the landscape of business and make bots. We want to make bots with people when we make live interviews with people, maybe in their home, maybe on Zooms. We want to make live bots, live trading bots to actually make a business out of the causes that they want to follow, people that we interview, similar to when we try to become an accountability coach for them. We try to become an accountability coach for people, and we try to become a business therapist to them. And we also, like Pokemon Go, try to figure out games and ways that they want to support causes by playing games like Pokemon Go to bring people outside and make their own games for change, and their own change for games that they can cause in the world. That's the kind of thing that we want to bring out in people through business therapy episodes, adding to this podcast through talking to people, and adding to this podcast, and therefore making a full cyclical cycle to be able to connect all the dots, to be able to continue to develop and drive change for games and games for change, like people getting together, playing Pokemon Go, and connecting fundamentally to all the players in the world that they can conceptually connect with by connecting to certain characters in this game that are connected to archetypes, similar to the different games that were mentioned at the Change for Games Festival and the Games for Change Festival. The Change for Games for Change Festival 2025, in ways that they can make help people identify with different characters, like based on archetypes, like similar people, I guess, like in Harry Potter and such things, but similar such things for archetypes, to be able to energetically connect to all people, all other players in similar fashions around the world, similar to Pokemon Go, and people getting together to play Pokemon Go based on archetypes that are connecting to their energies all around the world, and that leveraging that fundamental connection, that fundamental energy, to transpose that transposition and sell that on the front end, to be able to make that sale, which is already sold because it's already energy that's already connected. It's just a matter of a lack of realization, and once when the realization coming, that's a matter of connecting the dots of attention moving into the right place in the right spaces of philanthropy energy being the core focus to produce and be the production result of business happening in tomorrow's world. Philanthropy energy being the focus of production and productivity. That is the energy that is the result that causes change for games around the world. And philanthropy energy being the result of all future business games, all future businesses and business games, because it's an emphasis on solving problems, an emphasis on getting the purest focus of solving problems, which is philanthropy energy, not monetary energy. Although the bank symbol, like the transposition symbology of the bank symbol, of the logo of HSBC, in essence, which is the transposition symbol and logo. Within that logo is the transposition symbology for all human beings being able to make that transition and that transposition, and being able to leverage not just that bank, but that symbiology of that bank and that proposition, to be able to leverage that realization and that purpose realization of leveraging all humans as vehicles, as entrepreneurship vehicles, to be able to leverage themselves as motion, and that motion being energy, and activating that energy, being able to transmission and transpose itself like it already is, and has the capability to be able to fulfill the unfulfilled potential in the unfulfilled potential market, to be able to transpose and transition all that energy into philanthropy energy, and therefore into the philanthropy energy global giving grid, the philanthropy energy global colored electricity grid that connects all human beings and benefits all human beings at the same time perpetually, by adding more electricity and more consistent energy perpetually to the philanthropy energy global giving philanthropy energy grid that connects all human beings and benefits all human beings, and also transposes and empowers all human beings to continue to add more electricity in a perpetual sense to that electricity global giving philanthropy energy grid, to be able to consistently, in a perpetual cyclical circle sense, to be able to power and reproduce the power purposes and purpose powers, to be able to repurpose and repower that electricity philanthropy energy global giving philanthropy energy grid, philanthropy energy grid, philanthropy energy electricity grid, connecting all human beings all the time, in all ways, at all the time, all given times at once. Philanthropy energy global giving, philanthropy energy grid. Thanks again, Dinky Tehc. Peace, bye, peace, bye.